Hello, welcome to Prequel, Sequel, Requel, the show where we pick a film or a franchise and give it a prequel, a sequel, and a requel with a panel of top comedians who are also movie nerds thrown in as well. So tonight's film is the never-ending story classic 80s epic. We're going to meet our panel straight away tonight. I'm feeling good about this episode. It's going to be a good one, I'm sure. I won't make too big promises, though. We'll see how it goes there. First of all, we've got, as usual, Eddie French. Here he is. Hello, Eddie.
How are you? You all right?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Yes, not bad. Thank you. Not
Good.
bad at all.
Have you had a night? I've just been. I've not been up to much. You caught me off guard with that question. I was going to ask you what you've been up to. You beat me to it.
Bit of DIY, but other than that, just,
right.
You know, just like all entertainers in lockdown, sitting about wondering when we're allowed to make nuisances of ourselves in public again.
In public, yeah. That's why we're all locked in these little rooms. We can't get together yet, but we will, I'm sure, soon. We'll meet again. Don't know. No, we won't go into that. Right, now let's bring our next panelist in. It's our regular. It's Natalie Smeaton.
Hey, how are you doing?
I started saying something I didn't know how to finish then. You know when you... It's our regular Natalie Smeaton. I've just been to Lou. I am regular. Thank you. I don't know what we're saying there.
To be honest with you, I am pretty regular, so you wouldn't have been wrong.
Good. And how's your week? How's your week been? Have you been working hard?
It's been a lovely week. Been working hard, but I'm on holiday for a week now, so I intend to just not wear any pants, drink lots of alcohol. That's my week planned. Yeah.
Right. Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, good for you. Good for you. Well, we always have a special guest on the show every week, and this week we've spared no expense this week. Absolutely, I've flown her in, especially for the show. It's a comedy legend of the Manchester circuit and beyond, a legendary stand-up, improviser, co-runner of a fantastic improv group. We've got it all tonight, and without further ado, it's Kate McCabe.
Way ahead of you, Natalie, not wearing pants.
Hey.
Hello, Kate. You're right.
I'm great. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you very fine funsters. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We've prepared you for the show, obviously. I showed you an old episode. How long have we been doing this? An ancient episode from the 50s.
1972. Red Buttons was there. It was fantastic.
And Mickey Rooney was there.
This was when Chris Lumb was actually played by Patrick Troughton. That's how long this one goes back. It's one of the lost episodes.
Yeah,
Chris Lumb is a long-running character in the vein of the Buttons character from Phantom.
we have actually lost a load of shows that were taped over by the BBC, and then some of them turned up in Australia, and then we got those back, and then we've lost the rest.
Some found in Lagos in a shed.
They'll find the scripts. They'll find the scripts, and then in about 20 years, actors who aren't us will be recreating them like they did with Dad's Army, and we'll all be like,
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? He was underappreciated in his time. Underappreciated.
So we have a whole generation of panel show performers who are just like, no, the thing is, when we saw this one, we knew it was different. And that will form a movement long after we're dead.
Cool, very good. Right, we'll say a quick hello to our people on Facebook who are joining in with us. Hello, everybody on Facebook. They're already commenting. Let's have a look. We've got our old friend Roberto. Wait, this is a different person to who I was expecting. Have you on the wrong channel? Sorry, Roberto. God.
This is Kate. She is great.
Look, I'm different to what a lot of people were expecting when I meet them generally. They're like, this lovely woman. And they're like, woman?
I don't quite know who he was expecting, though. I mean, if we put a false advert out there, I definitely named you were coming on the show.
I'm pretty sure you spelled my name Russell Howard. And I am here. I am here to American lady. I was expecting car boot lady.
Who is car boot lady?
I'm so sorry to let you down, Roberto.
I Googled and found car boot lady. What the hell's he talking about?
Kate, can you please be car boot lady just for a bit?
Okay, not for nothing. I don't know if the other Kate McCabe does car boot stuff. Milo McCabe, who's a great comic. Right. Milo McCabe has a sister called Kate McCabe, who's like a radio personality. maybe she's doing car boot stuff nowadays. I don't know. Is it an English lady who does the car boot stuff, Roberto?
Wait a minute. Milo McCabe did a sketch where he went around a car boot, didn't he?
He did. So maybe it was Milo McCabe that he found.
Oh.
I'm nowhere near as handsome as Milo McCabe. I'm 500 times more handsome than Milo McCabe. So get ready for this level of handsomeness. I'll put a chocolate mustache on, and you'll be fine.
It is insane.
You're right. Yeah.
Insane.
There is a Kate McCabe on YouTube. Her channel. Hello, my name is Kate McCabe. I'm a mum, singer, and radio presenter. I live in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. I love a bargain. I'll be doing lots of hauls, and it's £100 Poundland haul, things like that. So
that's Milo's sister. That's Kate McCabe.
That's Milo's sister.
Right. The plot thickens, right? Okay.
I had a conversation with Milo before I joined Equity, because I was like, "Hey, is your sister still doing stand-up?" And he's like, "Nah, the name's yours." But this is bound to come up. We've got overlapping. Yeah.
Right. Well, at least we've sorted that out. I think Roberto's at ease now. He's left a link for YouTube as well, so he's on it tonight. I can't see what it is without going off. I'm not going to waste my time on him anymore.
Roberto, are you still there? Are you sticking with us?
Is he here all night? He is here all night. Don't you worry.
He'll stay. Yeah.
I'll answer for him. Yes.
Okay. You've seen nothing yet. You've seen nothing.
Right.
Roberto.
Okay. Roberto will stay with us. Trust me.
Thank
he's here
you,
every
Roberto.
week. Right then. So if you've not seen the show before, we pick a film tonight. It's a never-ending story. Our panelists here will pitch us a prequel, a sequel, and a requel. They've got a minute to pitch each one. After they pitch each one, the other panel members can then ask questions about that pitch to try and put them on the spot. I think that made sense. Yes, it did. Right then.
Can I swear on this?
Yeah. I'll just do a disclaimer. There will be some swearing, so send the kids out of the room. But we put adult show. Yeah. Too fucking right. You can swear. There you go. You start at 10. What do you feel like you want to swear all the way? Do it. Go for it.
Good.
Some of it's integral.
Gosh darn it, I will.
Oh!
I didn't know you were going that level.
I didn't know you'd be using the mild swear words. Oh dear. I'll have to check the rule book.
Yeah.
See, there. We can use that. So what I like to do at the start of the show, I'm going to read the back of the DVD box for the Neverending Story. This is how they sold the film back in the day. This is for people who haven't seen it for a while. Hopefully, I've just been told to turn my mic down by Helen Fox. I'll just
Lumpy.
Sorry, Helen. Thanks, Helen. I'll just speak quieter. I know I get excited. Right then, I'm going to read you the DVD box. Keep checking my mic for me, Helen. That's the first person ever to call me out on that. So that's nice. At least you're watching.
Right then. Very loud.
Yeah, no, sorry. Right, here we go. So, back of the DVD box. When young Bastian borrows a mysterious, ornately bound book, he never dreamed turning a page would draw him into a shimmering fantasy world of racing snails, hang glider bats, soaring luck dragons, a childlike empress, the brave warrior Atreyu, and a slab-faced walking quarry called a rockbiter. Follow the never-ending story to the limit of the imagination. Yeah. It is. So that's the never-ending story. A little bit of a recap. So fantasy, adventure, epic, 80s fun. So we're going to get straight on with this. I don't know if my volume's down. I don't think it is at all. I think it's exactly the same as what it just was. Right then. So we're going to go straight on with the prequels this evening. Let's get right to it straight away. First of all, we're going to start with Eddie. So your prequel for the Neverending Story. We're going to ignore. We do know there's some sequels to Neverending Story. We're ignoring them completely tonight. We're just going by the first film alone. So that's very important. So your prequel, Eddie, are you ready? I'm going to put you a minute on the clock. Away you go.
A young man and a wolf fight in a forest clearing. The wolf is apparently slain, and the boy is knighted Sir Peter Wolfsbane by Aslan the lion. The wolf's body is abandoned and later returned to Jadis, the White Witch. She stabilizes him and goes off to fight for the fate of Narnia. She loses, and soon the 2 kings and 2 queens of Narnia send out raiding parties to eradicate those still loyal to Jadis. Still in no state to fight, Morgrim, for it is him, flees into the woods beyond the lamppost. As the raiders close in on the injured Morgrim, He slams into a door with an image of 2 snakes on it. He flings his weight against the door and limps through into the stillness and the darkness, and he hears the voice of the Nothing. Who are you? Demands the Nothing. Panting, Morgrim replies, Mork, before collapsing. I have a job for you, Gamork, says the Nothing. Fade out.
Right. Okay.
Secret
very
origin.
good.
Yeah.
Right. So now's your chance, Kate and Nat. You can ask Eddie anything you like. You get a question each to put him on the spot about his epic movie. So away you go. Fire away whenever you got one.
What's your budget on this, clown?
Probably 4 shillings and 9pence. I don't know. It's. I mean, I think it's going to be the interest regarding Neverending Story is huge. They've been trying to get sort of recent, like in the 2000 noughties and the teens. They've been trying to reboot or remake it, and there's just been arguments and legal problems and stuff. So I think the interest is so huge that if they could put this together, then because it's mainly dealing with the estate of C.S. Lewis rather than that of the gentleman who wrote Neverending Story.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, it is a bit. I can't remember his name.
I can't either.
I read it earlier as well. But yeah, it's it was the biggest budget non-US or Soviet movie ever made at the time, because it's actually a German production. So
that's right.
So yeah, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, we can all read trivia as well, Eddie. Yeah.
Here we go. This happens, Kate.
Get him,
Chris is going to
Lumby.
start showing off.
Yeah, Lumby.
I just admit I've read the trivia. That's all. It was like, there's something you might not know.
You think I knew? You think I was trying?
I thought you knew it.
I knew that innately.
Yes.
That's just knowledge I possessed.
I know you. I know you were doing that.
Yeah, I just know how to identify German feature productions. It was really obvious. Anyway,
okay.
So the budget, I imagine, will be pretty good. So probably, I was going to say AAA. That's for games, isn't it? But it's going to be Hollywood level blockbuster budgets. Even though it's mainly a wolf running in a forest. So
cool.
Could be indie as well, I suppose. You could do it on either because
Puppets. Yeah.
Could be Dog Soldiers level, or it could be anything. So I'm aiming high, but I could take an indie level budget and get it done for 30 minutes.
I'm not up on my Narnia stuff, so I was just going to ask you the Morgrim thing. What's the idea with that?
Morgrim is the head of the White Witch's secret police, who is a wolf who is also sometimes a man. And Gamok is actually described as a wolf who is also sometimes can be a man. So he's known as Morgrim in the American publication and Fenris Ulf in the British publication, and I don't know why.
Right. So okay. Just to clear that up, I didn't know. I thought other people might know. I'm not up on my Narnia. It's the one thing I just don't know anything about.
I'm very
the one thing.
The one thing. All the other epics I know, but this one I just don't know anything about it.
Jardis is the name of the White Witch, so that's,
right.
In case you thought they were 2 separate people, that's just one person.
Okay. Might need a bit of help recapping that one later. I'll be honest with you.
All right.
Right then. Now, have you got a question?
I do have a question. Yeah. Look, you're making him talk again now. Look, go on, Eddie. Go on.
I was just saying the most famous wolf in the Narnia books goes on to be the most famous wolf in the Neverending Story. That's the prequel, Chris. Just for your.
Okay. All right.
Just for
cool.
Convenience. Sorry.
Collapsed right there.
Yeah. Like a flan in a cupboard.
Yeah.
So, Eddie, the suggestion that there's going to be a crossover with Narnia also means the door may open for crossovers with everything else. Like in The Nightmare Before Christmas, for instance, there are doors to each land, which is where I assume you got the idea. I mean, could we see a crossovers with Harry Potter? Would there be like a potentially like a Philip Pullman sort of Northern Lights crossover? I mean, where does the universe end?
Can I just say before Eddie answers this, Do you know how long it took Marvel and DC to have a crossover together? The amalgam universe. What a faff that was. Natalie, I think you're talking crazy.
I mean, this, if I can talk crazy now, Kate, when can I talk crazy?
Yeah, and also it turned out Dark Claw and Super Soldier, which was hardly worth it. But there you go.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah.
Nerd.
I knew a guy who had all the Amalgam issue ones and thought he was going to retire on them.
Oh yeah, it was mostly just people going like, "Oh, Thor would never be Captain America."
yeah, so bad. But yeah, the Harry Potter universe would be useful because then they could tell the childlike Empress exactly what gender she was and wasn't. That would be really useful, just in case she, had any of her own thoughts. I like the idea of the Philip Pullman one because I like the idea of Fantasia just being invaded by dreadful people looking for some sort of, god dandruff or whatever it is in those books. So yeah, we could throw all those things together. I worry it could become a little bit too much like Ready Player One, though, and
okay,
just be a little too fan service.
Just not dreaming big enough, then, in my opinion. But fair enough.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, it's answered. I feel answered.
I think we need to move on because that was a long answer. That was a long ass time on one thing. Anyway, right then, let's move on. Nat, it's your turn. Let's get you a minute on the clock for your prequel. Are you ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready.
Away you go.
Okay. The Nothing is a young, ambitious, void of despair and existential crisis, fresh out of the interdimensional Imperial Galaxy University. His dream? To create a career like the famous large black marble monolith Gavin, who had a successful film and TV career, or after The Mist, who had the horror film scene cornered. The trouble is, he isn't a great performer or a natural one, and he can't get rid of his dorky Dimension 26 accent, so doesn't get much work. Needing to pay the rent, he starts to try to trade different jobs. Cue the montage of the Nothing in a kitchen, trying to prepare a cheeky chicken lemon risotto with a lime and fennel foam, but instead sucking the kitchen and the whole kitchen team into the void when he loses his temper after the boss calls him an idiot sandwich. Realizing his job is probably more in deconstruction, he applies for the first job he sees that comes up, which is to destroy Fantasia. The end.
Okay, right. So you got a bit of a backstory there. Cool. Right. Questions then for Kate and Eddie there. Go for it. Yep. Go for it. Kate.
Yeah, I don't know how we can have this prequel without first having at least a half an hour primer to how HR in Fantasia works. Because if Fantasia is hiring someone to sort of destroy it, then I'm not sure how HR is handling that. Like, how can it go automatically to Gamork? Were there other people that were already in Fantasia that could have taken that job? Like, do you source it internally or put it externally?
I see where you're coming from, but I imagine this, like, when you read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the human race actually had no idea that the Earth was about to be destroyed because they hadn't checked the paperwork. They just didn't know. Well, I'm assuming that that's what happened with Fantasia. They're a little bit gawky, a little bit geeky. They're not really involved in international galactic politics, and it sort of passed them by that they were on the chopping block until the advert went out, really, and then there was all this big panic and trying to find a human child. So yeah, I just think it's breakdown of communication amongst the Intergalactic Federation Council.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Peace out. Thank you.
I'd like to know what qualifications does the Nothing actually have? Because some places won't take you unless you've got at least like a City and Guilds or a GMBQ in catering or something like that. Or
Yeah. Well, the biggest worry for him was that they would ask for destruction experience, which obviously he doesn't have if he's a brand new existential void directly out of university. But he studied not just acting, which is what he thought he was going to go into, but general screaming into the void, existential despair, nicheism. So
he went to NYU.
Yeah. So So yeah, he's got a lot of strings to his bow. Was an art student for a while, so that made him feel. Chris is rubbing his chin. What's wrong, Chris?
No, I'm just listening and
okay.
wondering
Yeah.
if you've covered all the bases there, but that's fine. Yeah.
So yes, that's it.
An out-of-work actor does a load of jobs they don't want. They suddenly start getting an interest in sort of nihilistic ideas, maybe go on a few YouTube rabbit holes, and then end up wanting to destroy everything.
Yeah. He was picked on a lot for his accent. Yeah. Like he had the equivalent of like a West Country accent, which is why he didn't get a lot of work. Things like that, really.
The darkness and the nothing.
Are you going to destroy you or something?
You spell it N-U-T-H-I-N. Nothing.
Good. All right, cool. So we got somebody's trying to scare you. Eddie. Was that someone looking in the window behind Ed?
Probably.
And then Roberto's decided to take it on himself to watch the replay. What? Replay? I think he means 9. I think he means 9:13, but it doesn't matter.
Someone else do like edited highlights of this show, and they're suddenly going, "Oh well, that was a particular prequel. Wow, he's going to want to have to pull back in the questions if he wants to get through on that. Oh dear.
Just VAR on whether our pitches were good."
Right then, cool. Okay, right, that was Natalie. So, Kate, it's your turn for your prequel, please. I'm going to get you a minute on the clock.
She's ready. Look at her. She's ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm going to do this in the style of Sophia from The Golden Girls. So every pitch I give is going to be, picture this, Sicily, 1922.
Okay.
So we have the never-ending story, which is a story that we jump into head first, where there's a fantasy world that already exists. Bastion is there. He meets Atreyu. He doesn't think he's part of it yet. There's already an established order that is being torn apart. But how did Fantasia first get built up? Why is the guy that played the Oompa Loompa in Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory driving a snail? Let's find out. We're going to meet the kids that first started populating the world of Fantasia. Why is there a bat that everyone enjoys yet seems to hate? What? They're all like, "Ugh, this fucking giant bat that I ride around on. Fuck him, lazy shit." Right. So we're gonna find out how it became populated with all these fantastic creatures. How come the boobs on those sphinxes are so tight?
This. Why they got big boobies?
It's German. It's German. Don't forget, this isn't an American film. This is a German American film. So we get a little bit more away with some firm tits.
Yeah, they were breasticles.
And the children, don't forget, this is a country that just had somebody run away naked from a boar stealing his laptop bag. So this is something that's much more accepted over there. A pig could make you swinging out any second. But we're going to see how Fantasia was built with the fantasies of children before the wiener that is Sebastian ever walked into that place.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Right, very good. Okay, so a construction story there then. That's good. Right then, so Eddie and Nat, if you've got any questions for Kate, let's hear them. See what you can find out.
Is this going to be sort of like a cross-cultural thing, so that the moment prehistoric humanoid-y type people suddenly became sort of creative thinking people? There's going to be like some Bronze Age people here. There's going to be some sort of Egyptian sort of farmers, all the people, whenever they start questioning the idea of creation, is it just going to be sort of spread out? Is it going to look like the origin story of the first mutant? What's his name? Totally forgotten.
Oh, Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, thank you, yeah. Is it going to be like that kind of thing across the globe?
Yes, but I can promise you the actor playing the important part will be taller than Oscar Isaac. So that's hopefully a relief to you and other people funding this. They'll look a little more menacing, a little more threatening. Nothing against Oscar Isaac as an actor. I think he's a very talented man, but in Apocalypse, he ain't.
No.
So yes, it will be cross-cultural. Obviously, the Neverending Story references lots of different cultural viewpoints, and I think it's important that we show sort of like a world scope.
Yeah, because it was quite sort of Germanic fairy tale in general, but obviously it was a German production, and that's going to see through. But this way, we can have a much sort of
because you got the Sphinx in there, and you've got
you've
got other cultures in there, and I think we can expand on that and push that even further.
Was Artax
Artax?
was the horse. What was the name of the lad? I've forgotten. I've done Chris now.
Atreyu. He was Native American. Yeah.
Yeah, there was sort of
a Plains Indian.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, cool. Okay. Yep, happy with that.
Cool.
I have a question. So at the end of the film that we watch, obviously everything comes down to one tiny grain of sand, and then Bastian's job is to create that world again. So does that happen several times during your creation movie? Do we see it being destroyed by the nothing and then being built up by a new person, or does it just continue to grow?
I think there are moments in there where we will see some destruction and regrowth. For instance, the best part of the movie Wolverine Origins is when they show Wolverine and Sabretooth running across the credits through different points in time, getting cut up and killed and then rebirthing themselves. And we're going to see a little bit of that. It'll be sort of like, there's like a Garden of Eden never-ending story, and then there's we might even see some like recognizable biblical times, but then we're going to see stuff that's like probably 1700s on, and then a big break from like old culture to new culture. Might even see when sort of like modern fairy tales sort of take hold, superhero culture, Disney, Pixar, that sort of stuff. So the old gods and the new gods kind of coming into play.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
There'll be a sort of a gothic period around the 1860s or 70s when people start thinking, there might be life after death. Let's communicate with them with these glass cups. And that kind of stuff.
We might see women discovering science fiction. Mary Shelley.
True.
Don't be silly. Women don't do that. You fool. Good God, woman.
And then H.G. Wells just going, no, it's me or Jules Verne. No one else.
Right then. Okay. Right. What are you opening, Eddie? There. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
It's fine. Now, Helen was sorry about my microphone. Surely that just like knocked her out of the chair.
I was doing some ASMR.
I loved it.
Yeah. Wasn't it thrilling?
I'm bringing a bag. I'm going to go get a bag of crisps and just start eating them. While you do your next pitches, go on, you'll go. Anyway, right then, let's do some recaps for you. This is the time to vote, so I'm going to give you a recap of all you've just heard. Well, I'm going to try to. And you can vote on Facebook. We'll get your votes through here on the messages there, and also we'll vote in the room. But first of all, your recap. So prequels for the Neverending Story. Eddie's was basically a crossover with Chronicles of Narnia about Morgrim, who flees the woods and then goes into the wardrobe at the end, and there's the voice of nothing who goes, I've got a task for you.
Morgrim was also my name when I worked at the Jorvik Viking Centre.
If only we had time for that story, but we're on the recap. So we're on the recap. Right, Nats was about the nothing, basically. Did you name it Gavin?
No, Gavin was the name of the monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
That's the bit I missed. Sorry. Right, yeah. Okay, I got that. Yeah. Right, okay. So the nothing starts training jobs. He doesn't know what to do with his life. No. He gets a job cooking, messes it up, sucks all the kitchen into the void. Then he decides there's only one thing I can do, and it's destroy Fantasia. Was that accurate? Maybe.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. And Kate's was. Basically, we find out why people think all this stuff in Fantasia is shit, including the giant lazy shit bats. I put that down. It starts off with the kids who first populated the place. We find out why there's giant boobs on all the statues. And basically how the entire kingdom was built. So, construction. Right then, so let's get voting for those. So vote for your favourite in the comments. We'll have a look at those in a second. We'll give you a few seconds to vote. But we'll vote in here. We get a vote each in the room. So you can't vote for your own, though.
Okay. Agreed.
Yeah.
It's tough because I like both of those a lot.
Do we do this in the chat? Should I just vote in the chat?
No, vote. Just tell us. Tell us here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us who you.
I'm gonna go for Kate actually because I like the idea of all the different sort of cultural folklore stories all smashing together in a big shared universe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Kate too because I just think it would be fun to see how many different versions of Fantasia there were before this one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to vote for that as well. Sounds like the
time compared to reading American Gods or something like that.
Yeah,
that's a big old wedge of a book. This would be like a nice 2-hour movie. That's a lot more. Yeah.
Sweet. In a quid pro quo sort of maneuver, I will vote for both Eddie and Natalie then.
It doesn't really make a difference on the voting, but we'll let you off with that one for now. Let's have a look what we've got on. Let's have a look. We have got vote for, I mean, I knew you'd get some votes. I knew you'd get some votes on that. I knew it. I just knew it. As soon as you said it, I thought that's the audience who come in here. We've got Ellen Fox voted for you, Kate, as well. You're smashing it so far.
Sweet.
Although she did call you Catherine first of all, but
that's okay. I'll take it.
Take it. Still voting it. I vote for Nat and good evening, Bob.
And good evening.
Hi, Bob. How are you doing? Thanks, mate.
Hi, Bob. You're right, Bob. We're waiting for Roberto's vote, but I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Tony Fox. Hello, Tony Fox. Is it too late to vote Remain? That's one for Remain for tonight. A little bit late on that, Tony. I don't want to burst your bubble. A little bit late on that one.
Yeah,
but you know you still. Hello, Tony.
I like the way when Bob was voting. I know he was saying hello, but it sounded like he was leaving. Like I vote for Nat and good evening.
I said good day, sir.
I said good day.
Take my vote. I'm going.
We better up our game. I didn't know the Foxes were watching us.
Yeah.
Get out of my bins.
Right then. I hope my voice isn't too. I keep shouting. Sorry, Helen. Right, we've not got a vote from Roberto. I don't know why.
Come on, Roberto.
Yeah.
Oh, we got it now. Finally.
Most recent one.
Come on,
nice American
He likes to name. He likes to name everybody every week, so you will be known from.
Yeah.
From hence, you are nice American imposter lady.
American imposter lady. Thank you, Roberto. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
At least he said nice because people do get slammed on here by him. He's not.
Usually Eddie, actually.
Yeah. It's easier.
And, you know what? And I mean, Americans deserve worse right now, quite frankly. So thank you, Roberto.
Right then. So at the end of that round, Kate is the winner with 6 votes there.
Nice.
So well done, Kate. Round of applause. There you go. It's all still to play for this evening. No, I say this every week. It's all to play for. You've not won yet.
Okay, calm down.
Yeah, just calm it. Just calm. Everybody keep calm. Right. Okay. We're gonna go straight on to the sequels. Martin. Where's Singing Lady?
Oh, is this the other Kate McCabe? I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I think he means Hannah Warman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Hannah from last week. Hannah, go if you want to check out Hannah's videos, the singing videos. Go look at them later. It's fine, Martin. You can do that. Just not now.
Also, that's what special guest means. She was here briefly, but she shone brightly, like all of our guests.
Yeah. Oh God, Roberta. Sorry, dead air. Then I was just reading that. She was in the window behind Edward Scissorhands, just talking about your window.
She's just lurking in your garden.
I don't know why. Right, let's crack on with the sequels. Nat, you're going first this time.
Yep. Okay.
Mix it up a little bit. Right, I'm going to get you a minute on the clock. You ready for this? So, your sequel to a never-ending story. Away you go.
Here we go. Bastian, now a young man, has just got out of hospital, having had extensive treatment after telling people about Fantasia and flying on a giant luck dragon. He discovers the old bookshop where his original adventure began is up for sale and buys it As he starts to look through the old books to see if there are any others like the never-ending story, to prove he wasn't making it up, he finds shelves and shelves of other people's stories just like his. So he begins to read them, track down the people in them, and kill them to take over their stories. He is eventually responsible for the existence of so many stories, he becomes a deity and comes fully into some godlike powers. This brings him to the attention of the other deities who don't like this newbie in the universe. And after a galactic interdimensional punch-up, he establishes himself as a well-hard, not to be messed with type of god, and they leave him alone. Even though he's never invited to the deity's annual Christmas party, he is finally happy and controlling the stories. The end.
Right. Okay. Lots of process there. So, questions from Kate and Eddie there. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like a really magnificent blockbuster film. A lot of really big ideas, Natalie. I can appreciate that. But with there being recent productions as the remake of The Clash of the Titans and also the franchise of Percy and the Lightning Thief, do you think you're going to have any problems sort of like trying to capitalize on the popularity of existing gods?
Well, I'm thinking that as long as I sacrifice to enough of them, or pray to enough of them while I'm making the film, we shouldn't get any problems with, being smited or rain of frogs or hail or like boils, things like that.
Wrong answer, cow.
Exactly. Yeah. Shouldn't have any of that. Like that should be fine. So I mean, as long as I do that, and then I reckon that people want to see this right now. Surely, people want to see someone take control of his own destiny and then take control of other people's and kill a lot of them while he's doing it. I think that's what the world needs right now, Kate.
Okay. All right. Passion. I like it. I like the passion.
Well, the world needs a dictator.
Yes.
The world needs a religious despot right now. That's what it's been missing out.
Okay. Eddie, have you got a question?
Not one as good as Kate's. Wow.
I know.
Have you got a question that can be asked in the same way and make it?
What, like a defense lawyer who's just dropped us some new evidence on the case? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't. Good God, no.
Objection.
Very interesting, Miss Reed. Very interesting indeed. However, I think you'll find
It did slightly feel like you did.
Percy versus the Lightning Thief. Case
The
of
two youths.
I enter into evidence 5P. Natalie's dignity, which I found.
However, yes. Fascinating. Very fascinating indeed. However, no, I'm fond of this. I like. Is there going to be? Because I always think that when in a film for children, the sequel is always best when there is some genuine electric shock therapy in it, like say Return to Oz. So can we have some genuine electroshock therapy on Bastion at the beginning?
Well, there's going to be a montage of his hospital treatment when they didn't believe him about the Luck Dragon and Fantasia and the Empress. So we're going to have a montage of him drawing pictures of like different things he's seen, electric shock therapy, drooling. There's going to be a lot of that. And then finally someone's going to throw a sink through a window and he's going to escape.
Can it be Atreus' massive uncle?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Wanging white goods through the window and then running off.
Yeah, and then he gets out.
Cool.
Yeah. With Atreus' massive uncle. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Questions. No more questions, Your Honour. Right. Okay. Very good. Okay, let's move on then. Kate, it's your turn. Your sequel for Neverending Story. Are you ready for this?
I certainly am, and I'm very passionate about this one. I like the source material. I like the Neverending Story very much, but as we can all agree, one of the worst and most heart-wrenching moments of it is when Artax, the beautiful horse, dies in the Swamp of Sadness. And that leaves a question in my mind. Who the fuck thought up the Swamp of Sadness to be in a fantasy world? And why would it suck up this beautiful horse of this wonderful Native American prince? And so the sequel that we all want to see is Kill Bill 3. Fuck up the Swamp of Sadness. What we're going to see is all the characters that we know and love from the Neverending Story come to wreak havoc and vengeance on this bog of despair. Eventually, we will have a rescue mission of Artax the horse, who it turns out is still alive and is very happy to see Atreyu. They have a wonderful, heartfelt moment of reunion. But we also get to see like a lot of sword fights. We get to see the bat, who has been accused of being lazy, having a heroic moment. And we get to see basically people just punching sodden earth into oblivion. Nobody thinks quicksand is a danger, and nor will they ever again, because quicksand is gonna go running with its tail between its legs. Screw you, Swamp of Sadness. Fantasia's coming for you.
Right. Excellent.
Is that the poster tagline? Screw you, Swamp of Sadness. Fantasia's coming for you. That'd be a good poster tagline. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that-
exactly.
Was that your question, that?
No, that was a statement.
That was like she's on board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
All
already
right,
invested. I'm writing a check.
All right.
For this
Question.
Clarification.
Questions then, if you've got them, go for it.
I
Go
do.
for it.
Yeah, I
Yep.
do, because I hadn't watched this film for at least 20 years, and the only part I vividly remember is that horse disappearing in swamp and Atreyu's devastated face, right? Childhood trauma triggered. So I'm well on board with this. But what I want to know is there a magical way that they defeat this swamp? I mean, punching it will be fun. I'm all for that. Like, let's punch some shit. But
Take
like,
that, you wet mud bastard.
yeah, that sort of thing, like stabbing it with sticks. But I mean, do they have to be overwhelmingly happy to make it into solid ground? What happens when it disappears?
I'm glad that you've asked this. Partially, what we're going to discover along the journey is that Morla, that miserable fucking turtle, is halfway to fucking blame. So the turtle that's like, I don't know, maybe we just don't do anything. Nothing matters. Basically needs to be on antidepressants. And so what we find on this adventure is that Morla gets the prescription and the medical care that she needs. Hashtag treat mental health seriously. But also, like, Morla, come on, man. You ate a kid's horse, essentially, by living in this bog. So Morla gets the help that she needs from mental health services, but it does come after a lot of high kicking and brass knuckles.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Cool. Okay.
Are we going to find out exactly how the swamp consumed a horse and nearly a child, but Grimork was able to run across it fleet-footed in an effort to kill said child? Because
yes, absolutely,
and we need to know
what we find out, because I was just as puzzled as you are, Eddie. I was like, wait a second, I didn't know that horses get sad, and it turns out they do. Horses get sad, but psychopathic wolves do not.
Should have known that, Eddie. Should have known that.
like normal wolves.
Come on, Eddie.
Would be like, I feel feelings. If my pack suffers, I'm suffering with it. But Grimork isn't a normal wolf. He is the embodiment of a servant of the sort of like ruling class, if you will. So
he, he received like a blow to the head when he was a cub. There's a lot of bedwetting. He was cruel to small animals, and that's how we know he's a stone cold psychopath.
Exactly. Like Grimork definitely drowned a bag of kittens. 100%.
Right. Yeah. So he's got this sort of Jeffrey Dahmer streak going through him. So
I'm surprised you needed to ask that, to be honest, Eddie.
I mean, for somebody whose prequel was mostly 90% wolf based, I mean, you wouldn't think you'd have to ask that. But just saying, you know.
That was my canon. It wasn't Kate's canon. I don't know how she treats wolves.
Okay, I love wolves. I respect wolves very much.
Sure.
But this isn't your average wolf.
Yeah.
No.
This is not Michael J. Fox, Slam Duncan.
No, it certainly isn't.
Boxing.
Exactly. It's not Jason Bateman knocking someone out.
We don't talk about Teen Wolf 2 on here. It's in the rule book. Never mention it.
Teen Wolf banter is encouraged. Teen Wolf 2 banter is verboten.
I tried watching it again, Teen Wolf 2, and the makeup job on his nose, it's so weird. Do you remember it? They're like,
I do.
They've like not done his nose properly, or that was a design choice, and you're like, but it looks terrible. Anyway.
For the longest time,
Lumby.
You couldn't.
What's that?
For the longest
somebody
time,
called me my name again.
you couldn't buy Teen Wolf on DVD without it having Teen Wolf 2 accompanying it. The only DVD release was both films. So in order to own the good one,
throw it out the window.
They were desperate, weren't they?
It was for a coaster, wasn't it? It was for a disc coaster, so you could put Teen Wolf 2 on your table, have a cup of tea, and watch Teen Wolf 1.
Yeah.
And then put it all back neatly afterwards.
I was looking for it for my best mate, and it's his favourite film, and I couldn't find. There was sort of like really old editions, really old DVD editions of it, for like £60, and people were happily buying it, going, "Thank God!" And so then I found the $7.99 one from Play.com, which dates that.
Cool. Play.com if you're watching.
And they're not.
They're not. Because Play.com probably doesn't exist anymore, does it?
Mate,
back in the day, wasn't it?
I doubt it.
15 years ago.
Amazon. Go for your DVDs on Amazon.
What?
Anyway, we've already got people voting, so we better get on to yours, Eddie, quickly. Right, sequel, Eddie, then please, for Neverending Story. Away you go.
Neverending Story 2, story time. Bastian wakes up one day and finds that he has a pube, and now Fantasia is about to get messy. Dark, creeping, lurking shadows appear all over the land. The childlike Empress finds herself one morning changed into a 9-foot Valkyrie with 52 double Q breasts and a metal bra. Falcor becomes scaly and only communicates through non-committal grunts. Atreyu stays indoors and plays video games instead of riding Artex. Sweaty, greasy chaos looks to destroy Fantasia like the nothing until Bastian discovers another gift from the bookshop owner, a parcel containing copies of Fanny Hill, Mole Flanders, and the story of O. Now, after that, everyone calms the fuck down for about 20 minutes, and then it all starts again, and this goes on for about 5 years.
Okay, right.
I'm uncomfortable with this.
Oh, yeah?
I'm uncomfortable. I'm just going to put that out there. Essentially, do we see any soft porn? Are you trying to say this is going to become like a soft porn?
What I'm saying is that when a young man reaches a certain age, his mind is no longer filled with frivolous adventure and is more filled with sort of rather unsettling and unusual things that he's not certain whether he likes or not, but just happen to be there. And for some reason,
So will there be sexy moments in your sequel?
I mean, there'll be...
Is there going to be sexy time, Eddie?
No. No, it's just the mind of a... I mean, let's put it this way. He's still probably 12 or 13, so not only is he deeply sexually interested in these, he's also terrified of them. So that's where the fear... And then also, there will be an enormous lake that is just surrounded by the same version of Crocodile Dundee's girlfriend filling her canteen.
Linda Kozlowski. How dare you get that?
No, that confirmed a few things in my mind when I was very young. So I'm assuming Bastian will be the same. So yeah, she's gonna, and that kind of thing. So basically, what goes from a bookish, charming young man who just wants to read his books and not get put in a bin, goes to when hormones start flowing and grease starts protruding, coming out and stuff. And so what happens when he's in charge of what goes on in Fantasia when that happens?
Okay. Disturbed, but I feel my question is answered. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
It's gonna be along the veins of Big Mouth.
I am concerned primarily, I do a lot of laundry in my house already. And if I were a mother to a teenage boy, I would be very concerned about this film infiltrating my household. Can you promise me, can you guarantee that this film will not result in sweaty bed sheets or crunchy socks?
I absolutely cannot.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Bold statement.
I might put a few viewers off there. But we will see, because it is voting time. So let's give you a quick recap of what you've just heard, the sequels to Neverending Story. So Nats was basically Bastian comes out of hospital. He decides to buy the guy's bookshop.
Yes.
He looks for other stories like his own, but other never-ending stories or whatever's in there. He tracks down the people in the stories and kills them all.
Kills them dead.
Becomes a deity and then controls the universe, I guess.
Essentially,
Yikes.
yeah, he's a little part of it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So remember these while you're voting on Facebook. Kate's was Artak's. Obviously, the horse had died in the film. Who thought? Hang on a minute. I've put who thought Swamp of Sadness. Who thought that was just your own thoughts, really, not the movie.
Yeah.
So the movie is basically Kill Bill 3, where all the characters from Fantasia get together and fuck up the swamp, attack the swamp, basically, keep the shit out of it.
Yeah.
They rescue Artax. There's a big reunion, which is lovely, and then nobody's afraid of quicksand anymore, and it runs off screaming. Okay. Eddie's was basically Bastian discovers he's got a pube, and it sends him. It's like an experimental film, basically, for his adventures of
Emmanuel in Fantasia.
Yeah.
He's suddenly
Fantanual, this is called.
Fantanual.
Yeah. He's got his sex and terror and all the things in between.
Yeah.
That's it. A coming of age fantasy film with more fantasy than you can imagine. That's the tagline.
More coming than you'd imagine.
Coming soon. Yeah. God. Right, then it's time to vote. So let's vote in the room and online as well. Get your votes in. We've already got some votes there, so we'll do that in a second. So what are we going for here?
I'm going to vote for Kate immediately, straight away, because one, the Swamp of Darkness and Sadness ruined my childhood, and two, Eddie, it's just porn. So yeah, Kate
It's
for me.
not.
Yeah.
There's no. Okay, fine. I'm not trying to persuade you otherwise. Well, even in spite of that, I'm voting for Nat because I want to see a god ascending and then having to fight other gods. That sounds.
Thank you.
Do you know what? I'm going to vote for Nats as well. Do you know why? Because I like the idea of going back to the bookshop, because in the film it's literally at the start and that's it. So
Yeah.
I want to know a bit more about that. A bit more about the bookshop place.
I'm gonna vote, despite myself, for Eddie's because I go on Archive of Our Own a lot. I read a lot of fan fiction, and this sounds more or less sort of right up my alley. It's like slightly erotic.
I mean, he could write this, and it might get picked up because it's happened before, hasn't it? With
Twilight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Get it written, Eddie. You might be on to something here. And then go, oh no, it wasn't that all along. It was my original idea, and then you'll get it filmed and everything. Let's see what we got. Martin.
Crocodile Ed.
Crocodile
Ed, a Linda Kozlowski fan. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely.
Love it.
She was a very pretty lady.
Take your bra off. This is hardly the time. Brilliant. That was Crocodile Dundee 2, mind, but
yeah. I'm just looking for. I'm just looking for more votes. Sorry, just looking for more votes. There we go.
Right,
yep.
thanks,
Yeah. There you go. Oh, I tell you what, it's even Stevens at the moment. We need some more.
Oh,
He's already said that, isn't it? Oh, not a fan there, Eddie. Are you?
In
Who
Italia,
you vote? Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's all to play for Robert. Yeah, that's a big message.
Robert. Oh.
Eleanor
Yes.
from Tarantino
Robert.
films and Grange Hill.
Maybe the bride can be second wedding in Swamp of Sadness, Swamp of Madness.
You and me, Robert. All right, pal. Thank you.
Good idea. Let me just double check. We've got no more votes. We haven't got any more votes up there, I don't think. Right then, the winner was a very close round, that one. Kate, you've done it again. Three votes to Nat and Eddie's 2, so you've won again. Which means, Kate, you're the overall winner of the evening, Kate, so far. But we'll do the last round just as we'll do it anyway. We're here. We might as well do it. We'd have done it anyway. So let's move straight on to the requels. Right then, Kate, you're starting off first of all this time.
Okay, well, this is a real left field one. So this is going to be from a completely different perspective. This is going to be the lead singer of Kaja Gugu leaves the band that has brought him so much success and decides to strike out on his own as a solo artist called Limahl. What he doesn't expect is this man who has a crazy haircut, very much a sex symbol, very much a solo artist in his own right, is going to have his first major contract with a kids movie, and not only with a kids movie, but one that is funded, split between Germany and America. What? And so we're going to follow his journey, the frustrations, the creative battles, the sex, lies, and rock and roll that he has to overcome to write this heartfelt single that kids forever will love, called The Never Ending Story. This is going to be a cross between Almost Famous and that documentary about Bros. And it's going to meet somewhere in the middle. It's going to be laughs, it's going to be black comedy, and we're definitely going to see Falkor out of his natural environment.
Okay. Right then, cool. All right. Questions then, Eddie and Nat, what have you got? What have you got?
I've got one small question. If it's going to be like the Bros documentary, will there be a painting of Falkor next to a pint of beer in one of the back scenes?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was just double checking that.
Yes, I
also,
guarantee.
Could there be a sequel to this called The Never Ending Story 2 Shy Shy?
Oh, Lord.
Yes,
Wah,
I'll give you 10% off the top.
No more questions, Your Honor.
For the title. Very good. Okay. Nat, have you got a question, please?
Yeah. So if this story is going to be focusing more on the writing of the song, will we see him go into his own land during his creative process and create one whilst he's creating the song? Or
his own land. The lead singer of Kajagoogoo?
Yeah.
He's English. He's from Wigan. So yes, he's going to have some pies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, pies. He's going to have some
pies.
Is he going to have his own fantasy world, though? Will he be writing this song and there'll be somebody on the other side of the pen, like almost?
Well, quite frankly, I think that's a great idea. I'd love to see sort of a Wigan-based version of Yellow Submarine, and I'm also prepared to give you 10% off the top.
Amazing. I mean,
that's all. You've already spent 20%. If my calculators are correct, calm down. You might have nothing left.
I never thought we'd end up rich from this show, but apparently,
I know. That's a generous movie producer right there. I mean, we don't get people like that on here. We just get greedy producers. So that's lovely. It's lovely to see a change. It really is. Right then, excellent. Okay, questions are done out there. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep, cool. Right then, move on. Eddie, it's your turn for your requel.
Right.
Away you go.
Bastian is a bullied boy. His father mixes raw egg with orange juice and then acts like it's normal and tries to talk about dead mums while he drinks it in front of his son. On his way to school, Bastian is put in a bin by some slightly bigger boys who wait to see if he stays in it. He runs into a phone shop where a weird old man is playing with an app that he says isn't for children. He then puts a paper on top of it and turns his back. Bastian steals it and then spends 4 days watching a story unfold on TikTok while eating an apple under a blanket. The TikToker finally turns to Bastian and demands that he comment, lest the channel be deleted forever. Confused, Bastian wonders whether it's really him that the TikTok is talking to and types with a shuddering hand, LOL. As a result, he becomes a TikToker and slams his bullies with some vicious lip syncing.
Oh. Okay. Very good. All right. Yeah, well, you certainly did. You streetwise son of a gun.
Oh,
you sure you don't want to Snapchat that?
Yeah. I mean, hashtag nil filtre.
Questions for Eddie there for his Down with the Kids reboot?
I mean, it's not so much a question as a comment. I'd just like to say I'm really on board with your observations about the father who was drinking the orange juice yolk, because I seriously wanted to vomit in my mouth. And I thought, was there a point in the 80s where people did this? And I remembered there kind of was. People
only Rocky, surely.
Cold
Surely it was
egg yolk.
just Rocky, surely, the only one who did that one.
Vile. Yeah, but is he Rocky? Is the dad
No,
Rocky?
no.
So far from Rocky.
No, not at all. That's why he shouldn't be doing it. It was weird. And also, I noticed it's all one shot. So you kind of think, did he have to do retakes and drink that? I'd love to know how many times.
Just vile.
The thing is, I don't know if the US had the same salmonella issue that the UK did in the 80s when Edwina Currie went on television and told everyone that every egg in the UK was poison. Sort of prevented us from having a raw egg craze in the 80s.
Yeah,
like the US might have done.
We had our cookie dough flavored Flintstone vitamins.
Sound healthy.
Well, Fred Flintstone was smoking on them all adverts as well.
Was it Pall Malls they had or Winston's?
Yeah. Something like that. A red one. What's
Sterling, I think. Yeah.
Red Apple one. Is that something else? That's from something else. That's from
Tarantino's.
From Tarantino, yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking. Did you notice as well that then the cut to a close up of the kid, which is when the dad went. Very well making himself sick.
One thing I've just realised as well is when Kate referred to Bastian as a wiener earlier, you see him trying to spread room temperature butter.
Yeah.
It's the biggest chore in the world. Yeah.
Oh, Beth. Also, those kids definitely, like, their real names, like their actors' names, are mismatched. Like, Noah is Atreyu, and like Barrett is Bastian. I'm like, surely no, that's reverse. That's Noah, and that's Barrett.
I looked at what these I looked at what these guys had been in after Neverending Story. Not much, but one of them were the guy who plays Bastian was in a film called Daryl, which is an 80s film.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I kind of remember it, but it's like the kid's a robot, isn't he? In it, I don't know. But I'll have to watch that again.
Went on to be like a martial artist and stuff,
right? Yeah,
and
now he runs a tattoo shop in LA.
Well, that's probably one tattoo shop in LA, I'd imagine. So
I just knew that. I knew that. I didn't look it up.
That was just innate, was it?
Yeah. Knew it. I know him. Right, let's. Have you asked your questions?
I haven't. Yeah. No, you were all talking about it.
Nat, you asked a question. Come on.
I did a Phil for a moment there. I just took a step back like Phil would, like you all on with it. It's a very quick question, and I just want to know if there's going to be, because this is social media based, will there be a specific emoji created to go with this movie? And what will it be?
Good question.
It will be the Orn. It will be the two snake.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so so what you'll do is you'll send it to people, and then that'll say, "Come to my fantasy world," because all emojis
this could get saucy. I think.
And then the police will turn up and knock on the door and go, have you any idea how many?
No, absolutely. If anything, this is going to save a lot of children a lot of bother in the long run, because we'll immediately find out who are the people the police should be, calling on. And
maybe it can do what this film did for kids reading it. It'll encourage them to read and have a bit of, it'll safety on apps.
On account of the film, the app being so boring, they'll do literally anything else.
Yes. Right. Okay. Nat, it's your turn. Requel, please.
Okay.
Neverending Story. Away you go.
Okay. So generally, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I don't want to change it, but I do want to just take a few bits and maybe look at them from a more modern point of view. So first of all, let's get those special effects ramped back up to now. I'd love to see this movie remade with current special effects, particularly the Luck Dragon, because I think that would be amazing. I want to make the Atreyu and Gamork fight at the end longer and more epic and like a proper showdown. Because in the film, he just jumps out of the cave and falls on the stone dagger. I'm a bit it's a bit shit, isn't it? I wanted to see some. Yeah. He didn't even try. He didn't even try to rip this kid's head off. He just went, and he just landed on the thing. So can we see that for a bit? I run a really good fight. And they need to get that turtle some antihistamines because I was sick of hearing that. And then we just really need to address those Sphinx's tits. Okay, I get it. And originally it was a German movie, and they were very big, they were very pert, they were just very large. Do we think that in this current day and age, we need to maybe address the Sphinx's tits maybe cover them up, maybe make them
Just
smaller,
dress them, yeah.
or dress them. Yeah. So that's all I do really. I want new effects. I want a longer fight, and I want the Sphinx.
Put the Sphinx in a camisole, and we'd be happy.
Yes. Yeah. It don't have to be too much. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay. Nice one. Questions then for Nat, please.
Do you ideally want a pair of Sphinxes that are not constantly on the verge of saying, "My back's fucking killing me"? Is that what you're looking for, right?
Yeah. They must have had back trouble, and they probably had to buy really expensive bras. Because one thing ladies know is that if you've got bigger boobs, you have to buy expensive bras. There's no point going cheap. So it's probably costing them a fortune. When they do get home at the end of the day and they put the bra on, which I'm assuming they do because they've had them off all day, the bras cost them a fortune.
I have a question, Natalie. As an American who is aware of and concerned about gun culture, and with the realization that any modern retelling of Neverending Story, especially when focusing on such a powerful battle scene, would probably be tempted to involve firearms, how are you going to avoid pressure from the NRA to include like automatic rifles in this film? Because that's not something I want my kids to see.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that they could only pressure me into doing that if I accepted their funding. And I'm not going to go with that. Instead, I'm going to go with getting funding from other sources. So we're going to have a bake sale. I'm going to expect you all to do car washes. Yeah. I'm going to possibly sell some organs, yours as well, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have a tub full of ice? I'm fine.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, like you're not going to use your liver or all of it anyway, at least one kidney each. I reckon on the black market, I could get just about enough together to fund this film. Because frankly, the only thing that I really want to be as devastating as the original, because I had to be traumatized with it, is the Swamp of Sadness. If I have to carry that with me for the rest of my life.
No.
Yeah, no, if I have to carry it with me for the rest of my life, Kate, then so does every innocent child out there. Every single one of them.
Because there's still loads of the horse sticking out of the swamp when it fades out. Obviously, as a child, you put the pieces together, but as a sort of a very sort of a less invested adult, you sort of go, "There's loads of horse left. He's probably there for." That's quite a way to pull him out, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they filmed that, but obviously they traumatized the horse to do it, which isn't very nice.
In water. They put horses in water if a racehorse breaks its leg, and they don't.
So they're like being in quicksand that's like being dragged under by two technicians.
It wasn't dragged under though. That's the thing. It was still like why it hadn't shown. It was like standing in a pool.
It looked traumatized.
And basically, our tax was like, "I'm fine."
Yeah.
You do know at the end he is alive again as well, isn't he? I know at the time it's Aaron, but he is running across the thing again. Yeah, he does. He does. So
when Bastion's on the luck dragon, he spots him.
Which has got a weird laugh, I must say, as well. Is it? Hello. Oh, hello. That'd be ace if it kept saying that all the way through it. Oh dear. Right then. Have we had questions there for that? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for your recaps and you can vote. Please vote online as well, and we'll have a look at that in a sec. So here we go. The requels for Neverending Story. Kate's was basically a documentary kind of thing about the lead singer of the Neverending Story theme tune. It was kind of sex, lies, rock and roll, drugs, cross between Almost Famous and the Bros documentary. And we follow the journey through all that. That's about it, isn't it? That's good. Eddie's was basically Bastion goes into the shop like in the film, but it's a phone shop. Was it a phone shop or just a shop? He finds a phone. The guy tells him about a phone shop app that's like a story app. He steals it like he does in the original. Don't leave a note this time, I guess. And it's an app on TikTok. And then it says somebody on the app says comment or we'll delete the entire channel. So he types lol. And then what happens? Is that it?
He becomes a TikToker. He becomes part.
He becomes a TikToker, right?
He becomes
got it.
TikTok from Return to Oz.
Yeah, yeah. And he does all his green crying, and then
That's
he slams
it, right.
his bullies. He slams his bullies with some vicious lip syncing.
That's it, vicious lip syncing. Right, cool.
15-second bursts.
Yeah, cool. Nats was basically same movie, and we're going to change it up. You're going to have better special effects, including the Luke Dragon, because it does look a bit shoddy that on the green screen, doesn't it? The fight at the end is going to be more epic. The turtle's going to get some help, and we're going to address the giant tits as well.
Yeah,
we're going to sort that out as well. So a bit of a re-polish on everything. Right, cool. So it's time to vote.
Okay.
Yeah, polish the tits and make them more.
Burnish those boobs.
Get them sorted. Right then, let's go for voting. Let's do the room, and then we'll do the comments online. So,
I think I'm going to vote for Eddie.
I'm going to vote for Eddie's as well. I like the updates. I've got to say the update is there.
Yeah, clever that.
I'm going to go for Kate's because I love a music documentary.
Yep, cool. Very good.
I'm going to vote for Eddie as well. This is a clean sweep from the judges for you, pal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good idea. I could see him doing it as well. The would remake this and do that. It's simple as that.
I know.
Sometimes let's have a look at votes online. Martin.
Yeah, Martin. All right.
Yeah. Go on, Martin. What else we got? Let's have a look. Come on, here we go. So is that a vote? Yes, Italian vote goes to Kajagoogoo.
Yeah, it does. Nice.
Oh, it's neck and neck at the moment. Hang on a minute.
Oh, I love Roberto.
Bob, what was for that? For that's a bit shit. That.
Bob.
Okay.
Bob is loyal to Nat. Yes, that's fair.
Oh yeah.
Votes for Nat every time, doesn't he?
I love you, Bob.
I think that might be the only votes. So, oh my word, we've got a bit of an even playing field there with Eddie and Kate. You're both on 3, so you both won. Rounds, you both won. Which means our overall winner for tonight is our lovely guest, Kate. You've done it. You've won.
Thank you, voters and panel. Roberto, we're best friends forever now. Thank you so much.
Don't make him promises. He will be after you. He'll be stalking you. He'll be sending you messages. Get out while you can. He keeps sending us messages with him just saying things. I need to download the audio and get them on here. He keeps leaving his voice messages.
What a champ.
Yeah. But yes, indeed. Thank you for joining us, everybody, this evening. Give yourselves a round of applause on Facebook coming in. And for leaving your lovely comments there. We've just got one more, just see what it is. What happened to King Tom and Phil Abbey Road? Loves making his name up.
They died.
Yeah, they did. Sadly, they will be missed.
They died.
So before we go, let's get some plugging in. So, Kate, what have you got to plug? What's happening tonight?
Later on tonight, I am going to be on the Nodding Dog new act competition on Facebook. Let's see if I can find it so I can give you some stuff. Essentially, I'm not a new act. I'm an old ass act. But I'm going to be there with my improv team, Comedy Sports. And if you want to see anything that Comedy Sports is doing, we're just doing short form improv during the lockdown and everything. You can go to Comedy Sports with a Z, not an S.co.uk. You can find me on Facebook as well. Kate McCabe's Stuff and Nonsense is my business page if you want to get there. So.
Cool. And are you going back to live shows soon, or what's happening at the moment? Are you thinking about it?
There might be a live show in Manchester City Centre at the end of September, but we're going to go with the flow of how lockdown in Manchester is going. We'll respect what the rules are, so we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Excellent. All right, excellent. So follow all that stuff on Facebook. Did you mention Murder Inc. as well?
Oh, I haven't yet, but yes, Murder Inc. is another one of mine. So Comedy Sports and Murder Inc. are the 2 improv shows I work with, but I plug both of them from my Facebook page, which again is Kate McCabe, Stuff and Nonsense. I also put cocktail videos there, so if you want to learn how to mix some nice drinks, go there.
Cool, excellent, very good. Nat, have you got anything to plug this week?
Only what I do with you guys, so I'll let you guys do it.
Okay, Eddie?
Yes, if you enjoyed Kate this evening, and you did because she won, On Wednesday, Chris, myself, and Kate are going to be 3/5 of the panel show Pop Culture. That is on my page, Eddie French, and that'll be on at 8 o'clock. And you'll get to see me be the host, and Chris and Tom King. So Roberto, that's where you can find King Tom. He's going to be on Wednesday, and also, gosh, who else is on it? Oh, Joe Thompson, improviser from Sheffield.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there you go. So he's going to be on as well. So it's going to be nice and exciting. And as well as the IC News podcast and Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. My episode of Fire Breathing Kittens was on the other day. That is a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons podcast. So there's only a nice 3-hour campaign you can listen to if you're going for a long life and don't wish to talk to anyone. So listen to that.
I felt like I already had. I'm only kidding. A bit of banter, as always.
Friends.
We'll be back.
Friends.
We'll be back next Sunday with another show. We haven't decided what we're doing yet. I left it too late this week to actually decide on the film for next week. But we'll get on that. We'll be back 8 o'clock Sunday night. Join us here for a bit of fun on your Sunday night. Hope you're enjoying it. And we'll see you soon. Thank you for watching and good night. We'll see you again. Bye.
See you later.